Good morning, second grade. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, and I'm going to start with a question for you today. My question for you is, what is your favorite summer activity? Well, I'm going to tell you my favorite summer activity. I'm wearing a shirt to show you what my favorite summer activity is. It says Happy Camper. My favorite activity in the summer is to go camping. So today I'm showing you our camper. This is our camper called an R-Pod. You can see it says R-Pod on the side. And I'm going to let you take a closer look. And then I'm going to read a story to you from inside the camper. So come on along with me. We have a little sticker here that says Maria and Todd, 2 peas in a pod. So that's Mr. Mickelson, the hunter. And you see me, the teacher. I have my apple and my ABC. Let's come around to the front of the camper. I want to show you something we have on the front. We have a map. Do you see the map of the United States? Now, do you notice some of the stickers are here and some are not? And the reason for that is because we put a sticker on our United States map whenever we travel through a new state. So we have not traveled with our R-Pod to California, so we can't put on the California sticker, for example. But you can see we've been in Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee. We've also been to North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, and Wyoming. And boys and girls, some people like to camp in big, huge campers called RVs. And those RVs, you know what that stands for? That stands for recreational vehicle. Other people like to camp in a tent, and that's really fun too. Still, other people like to camp just right underneath the stars without even shelter over their head. Now, that's not my kind of camping, but you might like that. But the R-Pod is just right for the 3 of us. Now, do you know why I say 3? I go with my husband, Todd, and then there's myself, and of course, Weston. Want to come inside? Let's take a look inside. Come on in with me, second grade. When you come in the R-Pod, first of all, you see a nice, comfortable spot to have your meal. We like to cook outside when we camp, maybe over the fire. And we like to eat outside, but if it's raining, it sure is nice to have a table inside. We've got some storage up here, and if we do have to cook inside, we have a microwave and a refrigerator and our stove and the sink. You can even wash dishes inside. We have the smallest bathroom you've ever seen in your life. Come take a peek at the bathroom. Look at the cute little sink. It's just a tiny little bathroom. But it does the job when you need to use the bathroom inside. And then over here, we have the bed. So that's our R-Pod. Have you ever been camping? There's a character named Mr Mcgee, and he likes to go camping. And I'm going to read to you a story about Mr Mcgee's adventures. So before I read to you about Mr. Mcgee and his fun camping adventures, I just want to show you some pictures that we have in our camper. This first picture is a picture of Minnesota's state bird. Do you know what kind of bird that is? That is a loon. And a loon has a beautiful, beautiful call that it makes. And my husband, Mr. Mickelson, likes to take nature photography, and that's a picture he took when we were up north in a canoe. And here are some other shots he got. Do you see those cute baby raccoons? It's almost as if they wanted their picture taken right when Mr. Mickelson came by with his camera. And there's another raccoon peeking out at you as well. Don't you just love nature? I know I do. So here's the story we're going to read today. It is called A Camping Spree with Mr. Mcgee. And when I first saw this book, I knew I wanted a copy of it for myself because I made a little connection to this book. First of all, I love camping just like Mr. Mcgee. But also, I think his camper looks a little bit like our R-Pod. Do you see the shape of it? That's similar to the R-Pod. And there's a window, kind of like our R-Pod as well. So I want you to listen for the rhymes as I read this story, and I will let you see the pictures up close. Camping Spree with Mr. Mcgee. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. Mcgee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper and hitched up the load, hopped in the Rambler, and then hit the road. They drove to the mountains far from the sea for 2 nights of camping, or possibly 3. There's nothing like camping, said Mr. Mcgee. I know you will love it. Just you wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. And the air is so sweet, you'll sleep like a log, said Mr. Mcgee to his small, spotted dog. A few hours later, they took a sharp right and found a great spot to lay camp for the night. It was high on a hill with a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson too. But perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was the brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. Mcgee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. And as the sun set behind far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. As the embers went out, they felt tired and dozy, so they climbed in their bunk beds all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear, a kindly old bear whose sight wasn't so clear. He couldn't see far and he couldn't see near, but he could smell marshmallows, sticky and sweet. This smell made him hungry. He wanted a treat. He sniffed out the place where the marshmallows lay, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way. Yet that didn't stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing right under the hitch. And as he was shimmying into the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snatch. Do you see the hitch? That's where the camper and the vehicle were connected. Uh-oh. Now that the camper and car were untied, they started to roll down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away on the old logging road, while the camper was heading to where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride, with Dee and Mcgee sleeping soundly inside. They were snoring and snoozing, enjoying a dream, when splash went the camper right into the stream. The splash shook the camper. They bumped out of bed. Now what in the world was that? Mcgee said. And when he looked out and saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for the big waterfall. Dee and Mcgee both started to quiver as faster and faster they headed downriver. But just when they thought they'd fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock at the ledge. So there they were stranded, Mcgee and his pup, on top of a waterfall 50 feet up. Do you see the waterfall? What do you think might happen? Meanwhile, that nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch, and not something to eat. Kind of looks like a marshmallow, doesn't it? The bear was determined to capture his prize, so he jumped in the water right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream to the edge of the fall and snatched up the trailer hitch, camper and all. D felt a tug. McGee heard a knock as the bear pulled the camper right off the rock. He dragged them both all the way back to the bank when he realized the hitch was not sweet, but quite rank. That means it didn't taste very good. He spit out the hitch and left in dismay, while McGee's and Dee's camper again rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar and stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. McGee looked out too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could it be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and drove off down the hill. And on the way home, McGee said to Dee, "The trip wasn't quite like I thought it would be." So when they got home, with the sky turning red, they decided to camp in their backyard instead. So Dee and Mr. Mcgee ended up camping in their backyard. That's a fun activity that you might want to try with your family sometime this summer. So this is the last video that I have made for you all by myself, but tomorrow there'll be a special video from all 3 second grade teachers. So I want you to please make sure you watch that video tomorrow. And since this is my last video, I want to take some time to tell you how much I loved being your teacher. You're such a special group of students, and I'm so glad that I got to be your second grade teacher. I think back to that first day of school, and I think of how we didn't know each other very well, and then we got to all become good friends, and we really became a fun community of learners. I'll always remember how special you are, and I hope you always have wonderful memories of second grade. Now this year was exceptional because in March you had to go home and start learning from home through distance learning, and that has never happened before. But I'm very proud of you. Sometimes in life a challenge comes along and it can make things really hard, and it can get very easy to be discouraged. But I'm very proud of you for all the hard work you have done. You know, we learn a lot in life when times get hard, so the best thing you can do is just keep trying hard and make the best of any situation. We learn a lot and grow a lot that way. So second grade, I would like to give you each a special message from me, so please listen for your name. Bensley. I love how you became such a good mathematician in second grade. You worked so hard on your math skills, and it was so much fun watching you learn. Brianna, I loved seeing your sweet smile every morning. You came to school so happy and always willing to learn, and I thank you for that. Chaselyn, I love your good sense of humor, and I had so much fun making you laugh in second grade. I hope you always remember all the fun that we had together. Ryan, I loved watching you become such a good reader. And any time I asked you to read something, you always dove right into the book and worked hard and really enjoyed anything you read. You got so excited about reading, and that made me so happy. Gunnar, I love how you were such an active participant in second grade. You were always raising your hand and loved having your voice heard, and that is so wonderful. You were also a very hard worker during distance learning, and you attended every Zoom meeting we had and enjoyed having your voice heard there too. So good job, Gunnar. Logan, I love your sense of humor, and the rest of the class did too. You always made us laugh, and you made it so fun being your friend. We loved all the knowledge about farming that you shared with us, and we learned so much from you. Thank you, Logan. Emily, I love your kind nature. Thanks for always being so polite and kind to your classmates. You made being around you just a special feeling. Thank you, Emily. Adrian, do you remember when you were the artist of the month? You are a phenomenal artist, and we loved seeing your artwork. Keep up those skills, keep working hard, and I can't wait to see all the creations you make in the future. You also did an excellent job with your distance learning. I think you did every assignment. Good job, Adrian. Heath, every day you would come to school with a constant smile on your face. And that made me so happy, and it made me smile too. It was so much fun seeing you have such a great time with all your friends in second grade. Thanks for always making us smile. Zeta, I loved calling you the jump rope queen. It was great seeing you become so good with your jump rope skills during jump rope club. And you were a very hard worker during school too. Thank you for working so hard. Wisdom, you are such a great questioner. Whenever we had a discussion, I loved how you raised your hand and asked questions. That helped the rest of us learn more too. Thank you for doing that. You also have a fantastic vocabulary. If a new word came along and others didn't know the meaning of the word, you would always help them. And we all learned so much from you. Great job, Wisdom. Zadie, you are a person who pays close attention to details. And you are going to accomplish great things when you grow up because of paying attention to those details. That's a great thing to do in life. Keep it up. Yanelli, I loved teasing you and calling you the troublemaker because you would never cause trouble. You were always so kind and so respectful and so polite and such a good friend to all the others. We love you for that. Thank you for being such a great part of our class. Kai, you have such a fun personality, and I loved getting to know you and that fun personality this year in second grade. You became such a good reader and such a good mathematician. Thanks for always making me laugh and for making school fun. Christina, I loved all the artwork that you gave me. You are a fantastic artist, and every piece of artwork you gave me had so much detail put into it. I loved all the things you created, and I want you to keep giving to others. That's a very special part of who you are. Isaiah, you became such a good reader in second grade, and I'm so proud of you for working so hard and becoming such a good reader. You also love to tell jokes, and your jokes always made me smile. Thank you for that, Isaiah. Peyton, you are really a people person. I loved watching you make friends at school, and I loved sharing fun jokes with you and making you smile. And thank you for brightening up each day in second grade. Anthony, you loved raising your hand and answering questions and participating in discussions at school. And I think that is so great. You worked really hard. And I love that you were willing to take chances and answer a question. Even if you weren't sure of the answer, you were willing to try. And that's going to take you far in life. Keep trying. Whenever you're not sure of yourself, that's okay. Just keep trying. Good job, Anthony. Melanie, you were always so kind to others, and you always had that attitude of gratitude. You would tell me thank you so many times, and it is so good in life to be grateful for things. So keep that up. Good for you, Melanie. Natalia, wow, you became such a fluent reader this year in second grade, and I loved watching you grow in your reading. I am so proud of you. Reading takes you places, so keep reading. Good job. Oliver, you were always so happy at school every day. And you had such a positive attitude. And that positive attitude helped the rest of us to be positive people. I love that about you, Oliver. Keep up that great attitude, keep that great smile, and keep working hard. Amira, I loved watching you make friends in 2nd grade, and you enjoyed recess so much and having fun with your friends. You were so much fun to be around, and we appreciate all that you added to our class. Helku, you also enjoyed laughing with your friends, and you were so much fun to be around, and you just helped to make our classroom just a great place to be. So thanks for being so special and for having so much fun at school. Alex, we are so glad that you came and joined our class halfway through the school year. You added so much to each day, and I loved watching you learn and grow, and I loved watching you have fun in school. Kane, you were always such a hard worker. Keep working hard in life. That's going to take you far. We loved learning all about your chickens. You are an expert. And it was so fun that something that you are interested in made us interested as well. And we learned so much from you. Thank you, Kane. Megan, you became so grown up in 2nd grade this year, and I am so proud of you. You also became an amazing reader. You worked so hard, and you did such a fantastic job with your distance learning. You worked so hard every day. Good job, Megan. And Emmy, you were always so kind and helpful to the others at school. Sometimes I saw you help another person who was frustrated. You even might just put your hand on their arm and just tell them, it's okay, just try again. And I really appreciate what a good friend you were to all the others. So 2nd grade, thank you for being such a wonderful group of learners. And I loved being your teacher this year. And tomorrow, remember that from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we have our drive-by goodbyes. And your parents know the information for that. And I hope that I will get to see you there and get to give you your report card and anything else I have for you. And it'll be so great to see your beautiful faces. Now, one more way that I will see your beautiful face today is when you do your seesaw assignment. I have your final assignment for seesaw posted today. And I would like you to go to that assignment, and it is called Camping with Mrs. Mickelson 6-2. And when you read the directions, you will see that I want you to think of a place where you would like to go camping with Mrs. Mickelson. Pretend we could do that. And you are going to use the tools to take the template that I have posted, and I want you to tell me where you would want to go camping with Mrs. Mickelson, why that is the place you would want to go, and also make a list of the things that you would want to bring along when we go camping together. We're pretending, but it will be really fun to see your work. You can use any of the tools you want. You could use the label tool. You could use emojis. You can record your work and tell me all the information to go along with those questions. That would be great. So I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day.